Hello and welcome to Access Paranormal. My name is Jamie Williams. Joining me in the studio tonight is my co-host Jonathan Sullivan.
Hello, Jamie.
And our really good friend Lee Arnold.
Hello, Jamie.
Now we've got to start, Jonathan, by asking the usual and our traditional question to Lee.
Lee, have you watched anything on YouTube?
I certainly haven't.
Have you watched any movies?
I've watched a new Conjuring.
Right,
Conjuring?
Yeah, that one.
Right, okay.
Is it good?
Yes.
Is that the only thing you've watched?
Yes.
Really?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was asking you to talk about it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
So, so don't spoil it.
No, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
just
don't
be quiet
spoil
then.
it. Yeah.
Don't tell us the end. Don't tell us the ending or you fall asleep like you do on every other.
No, you'll enjoy it.
Will I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you actually stayed awake for that?
I did.
Because usually when we say to you, and you said to us, "Oh, we're watching this new film, a new one called Destination Fear." What was it like? Don't know. Fell asleep.
Yeah, that's right.
So
yeah.
you just can't win, can you, Jonathan?
He works hard, those one. You
Yeah, I try.
Yeah.
I know you're very trying.
Yeah. And let's carry on with the about the YouTube and things like that.
Yeah.
Great friends of ours, Dark Territory.
Yeah.
Out on Plex, Plex.
Yeah.
What you can download, and they've got Series 1 on there from their Dark Territory collection,
Brilliant.
and very very soon is Series 2.
Right. And season 1 has been remastered, hasn't it?
It certainly has, and it looks brilliant.
Yeah.
I
Superb.
did
Apart
watch
from one.
the Mill Street
I've
Barracks
heard the Mill Street Barracks
Yeah.
one, Lee. I mean, obviously watch them because they're really good.
Yeah.
But just that Mill Street Barracks one, just fast forward the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think I will have.
Yeah, because Jamie's on it.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Hey, listen,
Scary.
they needed
Didn't it just?
they needed the next Mel Gibson. So
Where some of these things have jump scares,
Yeah.
like just every now and again. That's it. That episode has got one big jump scare for a
can
few
I
minutes.
just say I am actually in the studio with
Oh,
you.
hello, Jamie. Forgot you were there then.
Didn't see that.
Yeah,
Hey,
we are recording this show. You know,
Oh,
you're
right.
insulting the, you know. The,
we were just having a
no, they are really
No, it's
good.
good,
And yes,
yeah.
I am on the first 5 or 6 minutes of the Dark Territory
Yeah.
one at Mill Street Barracks. But
Yeah.
if you want to fast forward them 5 6 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
That's up to you. But if you want a real scare factor, watch the first 5 or 6
Yeah.
minutes. No, so it's great to see Sean Kenner, Sean Owen, and Mark Hassel all doing fantastic.
You got it wrong.
I didn't.
You did.
Sean
Carl,
Kenner.
not Mark.
Carl, did I say Mark Hassel?
Yeah.
Sean Kenner. Look, you've got me thrown in now. Let me just, you've
Go
got to
on.
let me. Sean Kenner, Sean Owen, and Carl Hassel. And Carl Hassel is also from Dark Arts,
Which
so
is really good.
Yeah.
you've got to watch them all.
Yeah,
You've got to
brilliant.
watch Dark Territory and Dark Arts.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Superb.
Brilliant.
And what else should we talk about? Because a little bit later on, we've got our special guests on the show.
We have.
And I can't wait because it's Dave Harazny
Yeah.
and Andy Jones from Entering the Unknown.
That's the one.
And we did a full interview with them, which
Yeah.
was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And then we went on a little mini investigation with them down here in the cellars.
We certainly did.
I thoroughly enjoyed that as well.
Yeah.
So, this whole, once we finish talking, it'll be all about Entering the Unknown.
Yeah.
And as Dave Harazny says, Entering the Unknown.
Yeah, hello.
You'll understand that when you listen to him.
and
But,
little Dave.
That's what they call him, isn't
Yeah.
it, little Dave? Yeah. And if you look at the poster, you'll know why.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave, if you're listening.
Yeah.
It
Only
was
joking,
Jonathan started it, mate.
mate. Only joking.
I'll send you his email address. Well, I'll send you his home address as well. You can get the lads round. But we got together, didn't we, with our group Ghost Quest Paranormal,
We certainly did.
based here in Liverpool and
Yeah.
in Mill Street Barracks.
Yeah.
And we went on a full night's investigation. And Lee,
I know.
you stayed awake for that one.
I certainly did.
And it was a good night. We done not hundreds of things happened. Not a lot happened at all, did
no.
they? And but it was good.
Yeah.
And and for Hazel to turn up as well.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
It was great to
Yeah.
see her. She's actually been in the group, would you believe, from the day one it started.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But circumstances changed and she moved on and things like that. But
Yeah.
she was still part of the group and everything else. So she come along, absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Strange things happened to her, didn't they? In the cellar.
Yeah,
She
they
got the
did,
shakes.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, if you'd wanted anything stirring that night, you could have just put a hand in it. Oh, you'd have had a full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was shaking, not stirred. Give it
Oh,
to
my
Hazel.
God, yeah. And she swore at me.
I know. I've
Yeah.
never heard her swear before.
But you know what? She swore at me. I understand that. I get that point.
Mm.
But now it's my turn to get it back.
Oh.
Because we know it's Sunday night,
Yeah.
but anybody who knows Hazel, on Tuesday, it's her 50th birthday. Big 50.
You've just lost us another listener.
That's only Hazel.
Oh.
So, Hazel from us here at Access Paranormal, we wish you a very, very happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Hazel.
Happy 50th birthday. So, so, next time you swear at me, remember,
Yeah.
I'm good at paying back.
I know.
But no, honestly, have a great birthday, Hazel, and hope you're enjoying the show.
Yeah.
Hazel, can someone contact Hazel, please, and ask her to tune back in? So no, and we actually went down into the cellar, didn't we? The small cellar. We didn't go in the big cellar. Second part. We went down to the little cellar, and again, it was a bit of a quiet, little bit of a section.
It was, yeah.
And we decided to call it for an hour, half an hour, to have a bit of a break.
Yeah.
And a ciggy break for certain people,
Yeah.
Jonathan. So we had a little bit of a mini. Well, we were going for the break until suddenly I felt someone prod me in the shoulder,
Yeah.
and I thought it was Lee.
No,
Yeah.
And there was no way it was you, was it, Lee, at
it
all?
wasn't.
And then you asked if it was me and all.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to try and narrow it down. You've got to try and debunk it before you turn around and say that was paranormal.
Well, I'm not that tall, Jamie. My
No.
arms are only small.
I know, and when we did turn the torch on, and Lee was a bit further away than because it was on my left shoulder, and Lee was on my right.
That's and then I
Unless
was
he was
next
trying to put
Lee.
his arm around me and he got sussed, I don't know. But, it was definitely a prod in my shoulder.
Yeah.
But then we had the other experience, weren't we, where I said, let's turn the light, let's go.
Because just after that, we were going to call it, weren't we, and you're going to put your torch, just about to put your torch on, and I seen a shadow in front of us. It was still dark at that point. And it was quite dark at that cellar. It's only very small, but a dim light on the stairs, because the door upstairs, once it's open, and you can't really close it over unless you actually close it properly, which you don't really want to do, to be fair. So after I'd seen the little shadow in front of us, you turned your torch back off, and we decided we'd stay for another minute or two and call out, see if we got anything. And then next thing, the stairs went pitch black, like someone had closed that door. And I've never seen, don't know about you, Lee, I've never seen Jamie move that quick,
definitely not.
ever.
I was climbing up them stairs on all fours trying to get to that door, wasn't I?
Cat balls flying down the stairs, a REM pod come flying down.
Yeah.
Well, it was Darren, wasn't it? Darren, who we know.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a prankster, isn't he? A nice man.
I
but
mean,
he's a bit of a
we all
prankster.
do it.
We all do, of course we do.
Yeah.
You've done it to me.
Yeah.
Before this show, one of you jumped out on me on the toilet, and then you jumped out on, then you jumped on Lee.
I got both here. I've got both here in one night.
Yeah.
But it was definitely not them.
No,
It was completely
definitely.
But what was funny though is I was scrambling up them stairs as quickly as I could to stop that door being locked, because we know that there's a bolt on the outside.
Yeah.
And I hit the cat ball, and so going up the stairs there was this cat ball flashing on and off. then there was the REM pod. The REM pod was going on and off, and I was trying to get to these, trying to get up these stairs, and the stairs were wet.
Yeah.
So
But JB, was the door open or closed?
it was open. There was no one there.
I
at
just
all.
don't understand.
No.
And there's no windows in the room.
No.
So it doesn't. I think there was just a slight light from the kitchen,
And
but the door closes over
Yeah.
onto the
Yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So you just get a little bit of a dim light. That's all.
Well, that's it. And there's no way.
Strange.
There was no way there was anybody there.
But in hindsight, though, you'd hear the door shut.
Well, yeah, we would, but also
Because it sort of jams, doesn't it? Closed.
But also, as you know, and you know as well, Lee, is we heard the other part of the team coming back. We could hear them.
Yeah, just near
So there was
the other
no
side.
way they would have got to that door.
No way.
You know, when that dark shadow. I mean, you saw it as well, didn't you, Lee?
Yeah.
And what did you think when you seen it?
It's just like it went so quick past us, and then, like you said, all we seen was a bit of light upstairs, and then it started going dark.
Yeah.
And it's like in a matter of seconds, it was pitch black.
Yeah.
How quick did I turn on that then? I was like,
I know.
Definitely.
I know.
I honestly thought they were going to log us in.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's end that there. That's the end of the conversation on that one. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the interview we did with Dave Harazny and Andy Jones, who's the medium. And this is how it went. Joining us in the studio tonight, we've got Dave Harazny, co-owner and founder of Entering the Unknown. I've written it down, Dave. And also Andy Jones, who's also the co-owner and medium and psychic off the TV, and also an award-winning psychic, I believe. Am I right, Andy?
That's correct, yeah.
Go on, have you a little bit of a brag, and then we can carry on, okay? So how did you get this award? Sorry, Dave, I've got to ask him.
I was nominated by clients. I wasn't aware that I was nominated until Manchester Prestige Awards contacted me and asked I was nominated as small business, and then ended up winning the award, so quite happy with that.
And you're the only medium?
I'm the only medium to win the award, yeah.
How good is that?
Yeah.
So we've got an award-winning medium in the room, and Dave, who's just the co-owner.
Yeah,
so Dave, it's your group, Entering the Unknown, and how did it come about? How did you start the group?
I wanted to start a group about 10 years ago, really. For some reason or other, didn't get round to it. And 2017 came along and decided to make a group up of certain individuals, and that's where we started.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, it is.
And is it the same people in the group now, or is it completely different?
I think I'm the only original one there now.
So the co-founder, and the original.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Andy, when did you start in the group?
I was contacted by Dave, asked if I wanted to come along to a location. So I came along, working with Dave as a medium, just as a member of the team. And over the time, Dave approached me and asked if I wanted to become a co-owner in the team, which I was over the moon to be. It's a fantastic team. We've had some good members over the years. We're getting stronger by the day, team-wise.
And I mean, I've been downstairs. I mean, you're filming for tonight, aren't you? You're actually recording it. Dave, if you want to tell us a little bit about what you're recording and when it's going to be on and things like that.
We're filming for Amazon Prime and the new streaming network, which is Paraflix. We'll be filming this for our 4th series. So we've had 3 seasons already. This will be our 4th, and it'll probably go out on air probably next year once all the editing and that's been put together and done.
I'll have no hair by next year.
Well, I won't either.
So now you're filming this tonight. What are you expecting from Mill Street Barracks, as this is where you are?
Oh, we're just after basically paranormal activity. It's a difficult one because you don't always get it. It doesn't matter if someone's been here the previous night and they've had loads of activity. We could come here tonight and have no activity at all. So basically, it's all about the history of the place and getting the team to go out and do their stuff, which they're doing right now, as we're speaking. And it'll be interesting to see what they picked up while we've been up here.
Now, I met your team because I was watching you setting up all your cameras and everything else, and I gave you a little bit of a walkabout. And your award-winning medium wouldn't let me tell you anything because he didn't want to know anything, which is it's brilliant. I mean, I like that, and it'll be great later on when you come back and tell us what you've picked up on. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
we haven't given you any information whatsoever.
No, you're not giving us any information, which I like. I don't mind you telling the team by all means, but I don't just go away, so I don't hear. I'm not fed by the information. But one of the things we're keen on doing as a team, if we do get any activity, we always debunk it first. So any paranormal activity we get, we'll debunk it. We'll try and debunk it. We won't jump the gun and say it's paranormal straight away. We'll go through the footage. We'll try and recreate it ourselves. See if it can be vibration. See if it can be team moving, draft or anything like that. So we're very keen on making sure that the evidence we capture is paranormal.
No, as I was saying, me and Jonathan had a walk around with you, and you were picking up stuff, and I was listening to what you were saying, and I did say to some of your team, I can't tell you because obviously you haven't even started.
The thing is, we never tell Andy anything. He knows the location we're going, but he never looks up any history or anything like that before we go to the location. It's usually me that does that, and I keep it for the actual series when we do it, when it gets edited. So he doesn't know anything, and he's usually picks stuff up before he even gets there.
So when you, I mean, obviously you're in season 3 now. So when you come to these locations, Andy doesn't know nothing, and then you put it at the end of the show. Do you tell him what what the truth is, and compare for what Andy said, and how does that go about it? I mean, is it quite what's the word? Compelling what you catch?
It is, because I've been my jaw's actually dropped when I've been doing the editing. So I do all the editing for the series, and when I look into some of the background, Andy's usually bang on with a lot of the stuff that comes through. So he even picks up stuff that I can't even find on the internet.
Well, like I said before, Dave, I mean, we were walking around and Andy was saying things, and I was quite impressed with what he said. I won't say, but I was impressed of what he was saying there and then. And I'm no disrespect to you, Andy, whatsoever. Is I'm very sceptical of mediums. And sometimes it's healthy. It is healthy to be like that.
Of course it is.
You can't believe everything you see. You can't believe everything you hear. But there was a couple of things you said, and I went, But it did go into me back in my mind, thinking, has he seen this on the internet? Because as you know, Mill Street Barracks, it's everywhere. You can't miss it. But it's nice to know that you don't go on and have a research. And what you were saying, I know when we were in one room and you were saying something and you said, I'm going to have to go out. I did say to the team, what he said there was, and this and this. And, they were, all right, we didn't know that. So that was quite good for me to see. Sadly, we didn't record it, which would have been nice to have put on here. Going about your team, you've got some of your team here tonight. Would you like to introduce you? Is this the full team tonight?
No, it's not the full team. This is just some of the team tonight.
Right.
There's Chrissy that you've already met downstairs.
Yeah, Chrissy.
She's like a newbie to Paranormal Investigating because she's never done it before. We took Chrissy on in 2019, wasn't it?
She was a competition winner.
Yeah, she was a competition winner to come along on one of our investigations.
Right.
And we were that impressed with her that we asked her to join the team, and she was happy about that.
She's full of energy.
Yeah. And then we got Gemma Lee Drury. She's a parapsychologist in training, so she likes to debunk a lot of stuff as well, and she comes up with some good experiments as well along the way. And
I mean, Gemma said to me, I've seen you before, Jamie. I'm going, I haven't got a clue who you are. And that's no disrespect. We see hundreds of people. I was quite alarmed when she said she handcuffed somebody to that post. When she said, oh yeah, when we were in here, I handcuffed somebody. I was, oh my God, you didn't.
She does come up with some good experiments. We was at a location, a haunted museum.
Yeah.
And this location was linked, and she tried an experiment which was used, believe it or not, in the Vietnam War. And it was a mind control experiment, which we did use that experiment, and it did actually throw us all a bit. It actually sent us all off listening to this track, and it's actually quite after when we come off air, I'll try and find the track for you. It's quite disturbing, and it's what they used to use with capture, trying to intimidate the American troops playing this track. So we used that to try and wake things up, and it did. So we've got quite a good team. We've got Dylan downstairs, who's my son. We've got Sean, who's a camera operator, who's not here with us now, and we've also got Kelsey, who's actually from Most Haunted, who's actually come along and joined us.
Was that Kelsey who's here tonight?
No, she's not with us tonight. She can't make it through other commitments. Right. But she's actually came from Most Haunted to come and work alongside us. So we've got a fantastic team.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were really nice people. And
yeah,
same with Jonathan, In fact, a lot of the groups who come in, we find that when you talk to them, they're really, really nice people. And and we've said this before, we're all labelled as mad people.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's true, isn't it? And we're just normal, ordinary people, have ordinary jobs. We just love this as a hobby. You were saying there, Dave, that how did you become a medium? And it sounds a daft question, but
I'm
you
not
can
a
see where I'm
medium.
coming
Andy's
from.
the medium.
Well, okay then, Andy. Okay, Dave. I'll give you that.
Dave
one.
passed it on to me.
So yeah, that's why he's not a medium now. That's why you would only would. All right then, because of Dave, Andy, how did you become a medium?
This has always been my mum's always been sensitive, always been picking up on things. My gran was old school, she used to read tea leaves, so it's always been in the family blood in a sense. So it's always been something I've always had. I just never worked with it until later in life. I pushed it away, didn't want to know. Obviously growing up as a young age, connecting with spirit, it was quite intimidating, quite scary. So I just tried to blank it and pretend it didn't exist. Really tried to. My dad's ex-military, and when I used to tell my dad, he used to tell me he's old school. To him, this is all nonsense. And he's still like that now. So it was like, it's your imagination. It's your imagination. Don't worry about it. It's your imagination. It's just a dream. This, that, and the other. So I just pushed it away until I was older, and it just got to a point where I thought, I need to start acknowledging these messages. I need to start working with these messages, and I'll never look back at it. I love working as a medium. Absolutely love it. I love it every day. I have a day job where I work my day job, and then I work as a medium. So, but it's one of these things when people say, "Can you switch off?" You can never switch off.
No,
you never switch off.
And in work, I've got to ask this. I mean, when you're working in a day job, do they all know you're a medium?
My day job are very supportive. Am I allowed to say where I work?
Of course you are, yeah.
I work at the Trafford Centre in Manchester.
Oh, right,
which is one of the biggest shopping centres in Europe.
Yeah.
And all the management, all my colleagues are very supportive. They've even get me doing. We're going to try and do some event with the centre for charity.
Brilliant.
So they're supportive. They know. All my colleagues are interested. They're going to come along to some of the events. So when I'm walking around the centre, I've got thousands of members of the public walking around. If you remember, I've got their relations in spirit and this, that, and the other. So I'm constantly connecting to spirit when I'm at work as well. So I'm trying to do my day job and also speak to spirit, what's coming through.
And the people, the Trafford Centre, fabulous place.
Yeah, it is.
When you're there, I mean, I won't ask what your job is, but obviously you're with members of the public as well. Do you ever go up to the member of the public and say to them, "Look, I'm picking up on," or
no.
Because obviously you'll get somebody who'll go, "Oh, go on," and all this.
With me, I'm quite upfront with this. I've actually put statements on Facebook because I've had people contact me, come up to me in the centre and say, "Can I book a reading?" or this and the other. So I won't. I always say when I'm at the centre, I'm being paid by the centre, so it's unfair for me to actually start promoting myself or going up to someone. So I won't do that. I just wouldn't do it. I always say if I'm paid by the centre, I work for the centre.
Fair enough. Yeah. And Dave, or are you Andy?
Yeah, go on. What was that?
Dave the medium.
Dave the medium. Yeah.
Dave, yourself. I mean, you obviously you've got a day job as a plumber.
Yeah, as a plumber. Yeah. Dave's plumbing.
Yeah. Whatever you do anyway is a day job. Do they know what you do? It's interesting this because. I mean, my works know that I do paranormal investigations, and they find it really fascinating. About your, where you work, is it the same?
A few people know that I'm a paranormal investigator. I mean, Gavin, that's downstairs. He lived in the same village as me for a while, and he used to pass me and used to say it up, and then we went to do an investigation at one of his friends' houses, and he says, "That's Dave, he's off the telly." So he was a bit gobsmacked at first. I said, "Look, it's down to earth. It's just something I like doing. You know?
Yeah, and it's nice that people recognise you as well, isn't it? It's good for the publicity kind of thing, especially for your group. Entering the Unknown, I'll give it a mention for you because we only mentioned it
keep
once.
plugging it.
Sorry?
Keep plugging it.
Entering the Unknown. All right, then I'll mention the Entering Unknown for you because you want me to enter the unknown. Fair enough. With an award-winning medium, you forgot that part, didn't you?
Yeah.
As seen on TV.
Yeah.
There you go.
He likes blue Skittles.
He what?
He likes blue Skittles. So
Oh dear God! Blue Skittles are they like the blue Smarties?
Yeah. I won't listen to him because he's related to the Smurfs. That's what it is.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's below the belt, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. Glad I didn't say it.
Let's give him his P45.
Do you know what? Do you know what I do like though is the banter, and that's what makes a nice group is the relationship between you. I mean, we said this the other night when we were interviewing another group, and I said, we're always insulting each other for the show.
Yeah, I think that's all part and parcel of being a paranormal investigator.
Of course it is.
Because the spirits that are around us, they don't just want to hear serious talk or anything like that. They want a bit of banter. They want a bit of laugh. I mean, I think if you do a bit of banter, a bit of laughing in that, it encourages them more to come forward.
Of course it does.
More activity as well.
You do that.
Yeah. Do you find that happens, Andy, that when you're alive and you're having a good laugh and a good joke, that the spirits come closer?
Oh God, loads of times. We go to a place called Stanley Palace in Chester.
Yeah, I know that one.
Fantastic location. And at the time, the night we was there was nothing really going on. It was we've been there before and we got loads of evidence. This night it was a bit flat. We was trying to get stuff to come through and it just wasn't playing. And one of the nightclubs was blasting out music. So all the team just started messing about, singing and dancing, and that just kicked it all off. It just sort of like woke it up. It's just like the energy in us sort of like gave them, because you got to remember they feed off our energy.
Yeah.
So if we're low energy, they're going to be low energy. It's one of them. So they need our energy to be up.
I mean, sometimes I've been on investigations with other people, and they're so serious. Yeah. You're frightened to say anything. They do it by the book. If there's ever a book written about that, but it seems to be like by their book, and nothing happened.
Yeah,
just nothing happened
because of the energies.
And I've been with other groups, and they've been all right, man, and everything else, and we're laughing and joking and everything else. And the next minute, it's happened to us in our group where we've done an investigation. You have a laugh and a joke, and all of a sudden, you go, what was that? Hold on, let's get into that investigating mode now, because now we've got this.
You seem to get something happen, or you hear something when you're having a joke anyway. Something happen when you're talking, rather than when it's quiet.
Well, and that's it. I always say is like when we're investigating the paranormal, they're investigating us. So when we're making the racket, when we're messing about, that's the perfect time for them to move around. That's the perfect time for them to do something, thinking they might not hear them. So when we're sat here now talking about spirit could be sat there talking about us. So exactly the same as we're interested in them, they're exactly interested in us. So it's like it works both ways. Well,
we were saying, and Jonathan can vouch for this, is we were talking about this once. I don't know whether it was on air or off air, and we were saying about we're doing the call outs and we're listening for them sounds. Could it be the same over there, that they're just hearing little snippets of us and going, did you hear that? Hello? Yeah. No. Did you say no? We're here. And you go, did you hear that? So we're like, bouncing off each other, really. We just cannot get that perfect connection.
Yeah.
Obviously they haven't got all the technology we've got because they're the spirits. Or are we the spirits?
Well, exactly.
We don't know who's investigating who. We're just trying to contact them. We don't know when we walk in this building whether they're going, should we have, I can hear somebody shouting, or did you hear footsteps going across the main hall? And the same when we're down in the cellar. Quite often we're down in the cellar, aren't we?
Oh, we hear noises from above.
Yeah.
And it's not from outside.
No. Now, we've heard footsteps going across the main hall, and we're in the cellar, and they're heading towards the cellar. Is it because they can hear the sounds, and they're coming down?
They're coming down to investigate.
They're coming to investigate us.
Yeah.
It's an unusual way of thinking about it, because we always think we're the investigators.
You've got to think about things like this. Are they listening to us?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's logical, isn't it? logical to think, because if we heard noises, if you're in the hall now doing your investigation and you heard like bangs or voices or whatever from the cellar, then you'd go down and have a look, wouldn't you?
One of the best places for experience that is Drake Low Tunnels. I don't know if you've ever been to Drake Low Tunnels.
Not been there, but I've heard of it.
3.5 miles underground, massive. Now it's an ex MOD nuclear bunker, so there's thousands of troops living down there at one point. And me and the team, this was a different team I was working with at the time, we was down one side of the tunnel, and next to me we heard an absolute shed load of foot like running towards us, and we was the only people in the tunnels. Now there's no signal, there's no comms and nothing like that, and we can hear all this running towards us. So we was all panicking, we all got in a bit of a huddle thinking, has someone got in, as you know, someone got into the building? And I'm like, we could hear all this running. So we got back to our base camp, this, that and the other, and then we spoke to other teams later on, and Gemma's one of them actually who experienced it as well, and they've heard it as well, and it's because it's the military, they've heard us and they've come charging down.
Right. So the military came down.
This is what it was, because it's a former military MOD bunker. So because it was the military lived down there, so they've heard us in spirit and they've come running down the tunnels to investigate what's going on. So they've heard us doing our bit. Says, anyone, can you speak to us? Can you hear this, that and the other? And they're still doing their job in spirit. They're still taking guard. They're still taking orders. Next minute you got a load of military running down, trying to figure out what the noise is. Yeah. And we're like panicking because we can hear all this running. And then, so it's interesting. I always say that. Just remember when they're investigating us as well. Yeah. So I always say, always be patient
and be respectful.
You're dead right.
That's talking of Drake. Well, it's closed now, isn't it?
Yeah. We booked it.
I was gutted. We booked it for last year.
Why did it close?
It's got something in there now.
He's
apparently don't want any investigating going on.
Apparently, it's a wine company.
That's a shame, though, isn't it?
It is.
But I mean, a lot of places are closed like that now, and it's such a shame. COVID doesn't help either with all this.
No.
Now, I mean, Dave, you've been here before, and Andy, you haven't.
I have. Long time ago, I've been here before.
Oh, yes, you did say, didn't you? I've got one of them moments, haven't I? Again.
Senior moment.
I wasn't going to say that. I'll tell you what, Andy, I'm going to speak to you. Dave's just going back onto his invest. Now, Dave, I've got to say, you've come in and you look like something from the police. You've got a walkie-talkie, you've got this, you've got that. I'm
going outside in a minute, see if there's any drunks outside. So I've got a camera as well.
He's got, hasn't he, Jonathan?
Just to explain, he's got like this.
Go on,
it's
explain
like
it, Jonathan.
A jacket. I don't know what you call it.
It's a vest.
Yeah, a vest. Yeah, like
bulletproof.
Like a bulletproof vest.
It's not stab-proof. It's got holes in it.
But it's got holes. It's got like a little slits in it. It's got more equipment on that vest than I've ever seen in my life.
Thing is, though, he had to order an action man to get that.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of him in his outfit, and we're going to put it on our Facebook page when this show goes out. Poor Andy in the background. It is us doing the show.
JB,
and it's me.
Just one sec though. Andy said, "Can you just like really zoom in? Because if you don't really zoom in, it'll be too small. You won't see him."
It's like an episode from the Borrowers.
That's the. Did you know this is supposed to be a serious,
it's
chat?
Pick on Dave time every time we come out.
Yeah, pick on someone your own size.
Yeah.
Nobody noticed that one, did they? But yeah, let's go back. I've took a photograph of Dave in his outfit. That's going to go on the Facebook page just before this show goes out, so people can see it. And go and have a look on the Facebook page now. We've done the show. It's on the radio. Go and have a look. The picture's on.
Yeah, give it plenty of likes.
Give it plenty of likes because it's on our page. Now, Dave, I asked this, and I love asking anybody this, and it's something that fascinates me as well. Is places you've been to. What's the most frightening experience you've had?
The place that's frightened me the most has been the Masonic Hall in Liverpool.
I've been there. It's massive, isn't it?
We?
Yeah, it's massive.
There's two places that really freaks me out. One is the Egyptian room,
Yeah,
and the
stunning.
other one is the boiler room.
That's pitch black down it. I know exactly where you're talking about.
I just get a really nervous feel to myself, panicky, upset. But as soon as I come at that location, I'm okay.
It's the first time I've heard anyone say about the Masonic being a frightening place.
It's only them two places though, in the whole of the Masonic building.
And
The other rooms
you know
are okay.
yourself, it's a I don't know whether you've been there, Andy, but
I have,
it's a huge
Brilliant
place.
location.
Oh yeah.
And Andy's
Very
picked up, because I've been there about 3 times now, and I've always picked up the same thing when I've been there, in the same 2 rooms. Andy's picked up that there was a negative spirit there, and we did find out that this negative spirit kept 2 children at bay.
Oh.
One was a little boy, which eventually got passed over by another medium, and the other one was a little girl, and the little girl's still there.
No.
This negative spirit's preventing her from moving on.
Yeah.
So I seemed the second time I went there, I seemed to take on the effects of the little girl,
Yeah.
because as soon as I went in the boiler room, I just started getting nervous, panicky, scared. I even started crying at one point. But as soon as I come out of that boiler room, went back upstairs, I was okay.
Yeah, okay. It is. I mean, I'm glad we've all been to the same place and that. And I remember the time we went. Do you remember, Jonathan?
Yeah.
It was that big. I went on a
was
little bit of a nose. I can't even remember who walked around with me. We went on a nose. Don't know whether it was Jane, and we got lost. And we had to do it. We had to do a walkie-talkie to try and get help to find our way back.
Yeah.
Every single room in there was fantastic. I don't know whether you went into one. There was a blue room.
I think we did.
It looked like a boat. It reminded me of a boat. And had checkers on the floor and things like that.
Yeah.
That was a great room. I loved doing that room. The Egyptian room was just unbelievable. So, I mean,
It's quite a secretive building as well.
yeah,
I mean, they won't give too much
You'd
away.
never know it was there, would you?
Oh no, well, funny if that's the first place Chrissy, our team member, that's the where she won the competition to come along.
Right.
We didn't know Chrissy from Adam. We knew her on Facebook and that was it. And she was jumping in left, right and centre. She was so keen to actually... And I actually asked her to do an experiment, which was quite a bit of a scary experiment. And I was asking one of our team members to do it.
Yeah.
And before I could do it, Chrissy was doing it. I thought, you know what? And this is what made us think she's genuine. She's genuine.
Yeah.
She's keen.
Full of energy,
She's
though,
Yeah.
isn't she?
She's keen to work with spirit.
Yeah.
And also she works the same way as us, where she'll debunk things and that. So yeah, good location.
she's the kind of person who I'd have in the team, because she brings that energy with her, which is what you want, especially for the spirits.
The thing is, though, there's a certain person. If I say to her, "Chrissy, you go and investigate that room on your own," she'll go, even though she's a bit scared. She'll do it.
Yeah.
Because she come back. She went off before taking some pictures of around here, the building.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
she came back and she said, "There's one room I don't like over there. Give me the chills."
Really? Well, I'll have to ask her what room that was. But yeah, she brings that energy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's you need somebody in the group to do that for you.
Yeah.
That's like me, isn't it? I'm the nutter of the group.
She loves being out and investigating.
Sorry?
She loves being out and investigating.
And that's the
what
best.
you want, isn't
that's
it?
what you want.
Because
You know.
we've done abandoned locations as well in the past, and she's always been up for doing them as well. She'll crawl in through a hole in the wall or anything.
And what about the other team members? I mean, poor Chrissy's getting a good mention here.
Yeah.
It's cruel on the other members, isn't it? Although she's like, you know, she is larger than life, if you get what I mean by that. And what about the other team members?
I mean,
I know I've got to ask Andy his most scariest moment in it, but we'll carry on with that for a little bit. Andy.
We've got Dylan who works the camera.
Yeah.
We got Sean. He's another camera operator, and then we got Kelsey. I mean, a lot of them are quite busy at the moment, so they can't make the investigations, which you can understand.
Yeah.
And then we've got Gemma, who's like I said, our parapsychologist in training. She comes up with all these experiments, and she goes around debunking things.
And that's Gemma.
If we hear something, she tries to rationalise. Hang on a minute, wait. Let's try and work it out what
You
it
need
really
that.
is. You know.
That's good, though. That's
What's
good.
that? Gemma Drury.
Yeah.
And the penny's dropped who she is now. You know, whilst we've been talking, and you know, she said, "I know you, Gemma Draw." As soon as you said the surname, then Penny dropped her nose. She is now. I'm no good with faces. Well, I'm okay with faces, but not names. But this time I was like, I don't know your face, but as soon as you said the name, then I know it.
Yeah, at the moment,
so sorry, Gemma.
At the moment, we don't want to do too much, do we? Because she's
no,
pregnant at the moment, and she's in the
right.
Yeah, stage, so we don't want to do too much.
Congratulations, Gemma. Yeah, that's a bit of news here, isn't it?
Yeah, an investigator in training there.
So hold on a minute. We've got a TV star, we've got an award winning, and we've got a pregnant lady on the.
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a joke, isn't it?
Is there anything else you want to tell us?
No, I haven't got any secrets.
It's like all these surprises coming out.
I know, it is, isn't it?
As well. And I've got to say, I mean, your name, Entering the Unknown, because we haven't said it for a while, and I know that you'll give me daggers if I don't say it. How did the name Entering the Unknown come about? Because it's an unusual one, you know.
Yeah, we didn't want something. I didn't want something that was like Northwest Investigators or Cheshire Investigators or anything like that. I wanted something that was it can go wide, worldwide. You know, it's entering the unknown, and that's what we're doing half the time. We're entering the unknown to try and find out what's beyond life.
Beyond the
and trying to find out what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the name, even though I've had to write it down, Dave. Well, it's one of those names, isn't it? I mean, our ones is easy to remember, but I mean, you were coming tonight, and I was going, I forgot the name of the group. I know it's Dave Harazny, but I don't know the name of the group. It's like I've got to remember it. I'm just so glad you've got the hat on.
What is it?
Yeah. What is it?
What's it called?
It's called Entering the Unknown, because Dave just bent his head down.
Just walking around doing that.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back a little bit now, and I've already asked Dave about his most frightening place, and I said, Andy, what's your most frightening place?
There's two places what have put me on edge a bit. One we discussed a minute ago,
Draycliffe
Tunnels, and the other place was Guy's Cliff in Warwick.
Where?
Guy's Cliff in Warwick.
Never heard of it, sorry.
Fantastic location. It predates the castle. It's older than the castle. So Guy of Warwick was a crusader, and it's an old stately manor, and it's ruins, and some of it isn't, and it's where Aleister Crowley practiced a lot of his dark arts.
We all know Aleister Crowley is.
So obviously I'm familiar with Aleister Crowley, working in that side as well. It's also owned by, there's a lot of Masonic goings on there. So there's a lot of negativity there. There's a lot of that. So I've been at the bottom of the location. There's caves, and no one knows what these caves are for. The man-made carved caves, and they say that Aleister Crowley was in these caves doing what he was doing. And down there, I've been down there, and I was down there with another medium, and we was both terrified of what we was getting, what was coming through, and it was just like we was stood there, and it's like portals were just opening.
They sound to me, I mean, them caves sound to me like, do you ever remember, or you heard of the Hellfire Caves?
Yeah.
It sounds like a similar thing, because that was like a secret location.
Well, these caves, every time I've gone there, I always say it's going down underneath.
Yeah.
Now, we've not been able, we've tried, the company we own have tried to excavate some of the land, and they can't, because obviously the date and this and the other. But other mediums have said it goes underneath as well. So it's not just me saying it, so it's got other people be saying that as well. So that was quite scary, some of that. And Draycliffe Tunnels, obviously Draycliffe Tunnels, it's built under a hill fort. So obviously it's mined into a hill. Now, the hill fort was thousands of years old. Now on top of the hill fort there's also a burial ground. So when they were carving into Draycliffe Tunnels, some of the burial ground was falling into the tunnels. So they were disturbing that as well. Right. So there's a lot going on there. Now there's known as a hellhound inside the tunnels, what races up and down the tunnels. And again, me and the same medium who was there, and it just felt like we were surrounded with something absolutely negative. It was quite a scary location. It's like, it's so dark in Draycliffe Tunnels. You can put your torch on, you can't see the end of the tunnel. It is so dark. There's no mobile signal. You can't get any comms with your radios. You're basically down there on your own. So we was down, and that was quite terrifying, but good at the same time. You know, it's like, even though it terrified me, I'll go back again and again and again, because it's our job to prove these things, you know, and prove that They do exist.
It's like an adrenaline rush,
it is.
isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Have you ever been to the Ancient Ram Inn?
Yes. Fantastic
Dave?
location.
No.
It's a must.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's very
Put
small,
that on
but
your
it's
bucket
good.
list. Sorry?
It's very small, but it's good.
Would you say it was small?
Well, I say it's small for a public invest.
Mm.
It's small for a public invest, but team-wise, it's all right team-wise.
It's fantastic with
Yeah.
a team wise. I mean, I've done it 3 times, and it's never ever disappointed me. If you've never been there, David, it's a place you've got to experience.
Yeah, it's good.
I think it's about 1,500 years old, the building, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sadly, John Humphreys, who owned it, he passed away a couple of years back, and he's such a lovely man. His passion for the place was beyond anyone's, but you know, he saved it and everything else. And when we went down there, did you come with us?
No, I've never been.
You've never been? It's a must, Jonathan. We had so many things happening. It was brilliant. The first time we went with another group. We had to abandon the investigation because people were being affected and everything else, and they said we've had enough, and we had to stop the investigation. The second time we went just as my group, and it was just as good. The things we got going on there was fantastic. So you've got to do it, David. It's one of those places that you know, when you've been, you'll go, wow. You've seen it.
It is good. It's fantastic. It's a good. It's his daughter who runs it now, isn't it? His daughter who organises it.
Yeah.
It's a good location. Yeah.
Now, there's got to be locations that you've never been to and you really, really want to go to. I'll start with you, Dave.
There's loads. Do you mean just in this country?
Anywhere you want.
I really wanted to do Drakelow Tunnels, to be honest. I really did want to do that.
So do I now.
Spoken
you
about,
fantastic
said,
place.
You know, and they've encountered down there. I really wanted to do that. That was on my bucket list.
Yeah, I mean, now I've heard about it. Yeah, I've heard about it before, but I'd love to go down there. And Jonathan, what do you think?
I'd love to, but sadly you can't, can you?
That's the thing. I mean, there's another one. I mean, I've done it years ago, and I don't know whether you have done it. It was Hackgreen Nuclear Bunker.
I've not done that one.
Yeah,
I've done it about three times.
Yeah, I'd recommend that one as well. That's a good one. You've done it.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah. I've not seen that advertised for quite a few years though.
I've not done that one.
No, if you go on the website, you can get it.
Not last year, before 2019.
Yeah.
You can if we go on the website.
It was a good one, that, because it was funny because I was setting up CCTV down in the bottom corridor.
Yeah.
Just near where the projector house is. Like
the little thing, like the cinema.
Oh, like the little cinema.
Yeah.
And I heard a woman's voice going, and I said, "Can you do that again, please?" And it, So then I got one of my team members to go down with me, and I said, "Can you do what you did to me before? Can you make the same noise?" And she did the same noise, and I turned to my team member and I said, "What did you hear?" And he goes, "Oh, sort of like a whimper." And that was without me even saying anything to him.
Well, I'll tell you something now as well, Dave. Is when we were at Hackgreen, we split into 2 groups. One end, one the other end. You know how big Hackgreen is. And all of a sudden there was a woman scream, and a huge scream. We thought it was the other team, and they thought it was us. And not one of us in any of the teams screamed. And it's funny that you say about the the female voice. I'm just trying to work out where that light's that one there. About that, so that's quite a nice little bit of confirmation there.
Yeah.
And definitely.
We've always had stuff going on there when we've been there.
Yeah. Now, as a team itself, and you've been to these locations, do you work as a group, or just split into sections?
I like the team to split up into small groups.
And do you not tell each other anything and then compare what you've said at the end of the night?
We usually, that's correct. We usually wait till the end of the night till we've all finished and we're all half asleep.
Yeah, I know that. I know how that feels.
In that room, what did you get? Did you get anything? And we just compare what we've got. And sometimes it's 50% right, at the time it's not. They've heard something different to what we've heard.
And I nearly called him Andy then. Andy, yourself, as a medium, you go into these buildings. as soon as you walk through the door, do you get that kind of, this is going to be an unusual night, or this is going to be a quiet night, or do you ever get greeted by anything?
Sometimes I can be greeted, but there's a place I went to in Salford. You can't investigate this place because it's privately owned. And every time I went into this location, I was always greeted by servants of the house back in the day. They'll greet me at the door and welcome me
which
into
is
the
what
house,
they would do.
which is lovely. You know, because I remember walking in there, because I sometimes wear a baseball cap like Dave, but a plain one, and I walked in with my cap off, and he's like, "Hat, sir." And I realised I took my hat off, apologised. And as I'm walking around the house, they came with me around the house. So that's fantastic to get that. Other times, locations, like a lot of times I go somewhere, I'll get told before I get there what's going on, this, that, and the other by spirit, or I'll get warned off by spirit not to go. Now, normally when I get warned off not to go, that's like a red rag to a bull. I'll go even more then. I'll make sure I definitely go.
That's going to be a good night then.
Yeah, it's going to be a good night. It's like one of the locations we went to, I mentioned before, was Derby Jail with Richard Felix.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know anything about the location. I knew it was a jail, that was it. But I kept saying to the team, we're going to, it's a castle, it's a castle, it's a castle, this and the other. And no, it's a jail, this and the other. So we got there, we met with Richard Felix, he'd done his bit, this and the other. Halfway through the night, he said, shall we walk over to the castle? And we didn't realise that we was doing a castle that night. So while I was coming through with the castle, it was to do with the castle. And the team didn't even know we was going to the castle.
So they were all like, whoa.
Yeah, so it was like the castle was linked to the jail. And I get given all week something to do with the castle. And I kept saying, it's something to do with the castle. And like, we're not going to the castle, we're going to a jail.
Now, that's got me onto another one. I was thinking in my head then as you were telling me. I've spoken to a lot of mediums. And they always say, before they go to a location, the spirits from that location can get in contact with you. Does that happen to you then?
It does a lot. It does a lot, yeah. Happens to me quite a bit, where spirit will come forward and they'll try and get the message across, or they'll try and give them hit bits and bats, or even my guides will come forward and actually go to location and sort of like transmit from location, telling me where's best to go, where to stay away from. Like two of my guides are Native American, and one of them Running Wolf. Whenever it's going to kick off, I always see he always puts war paint on. So when I see him putting war paint on, I know it's going to kick off. I know it's going to be it's going to be a really busy night with spirit going off on one. So I know when I see that, I know to get ready for it. So yeah, spirit come forward and sort of like let me know what's going on.
Oh, well, you've just answered my other question, and I was going to say, how do these people from this location know you're coming there?
They always do. It's like even my private bookings when I'm doing readings. Before they've even contact me for the reading, I've got some of their messages already. So they'll contact me, say they'll message me, say my name's Suzanne, for example, going to book a reading, and then I'll go and meet this Suzanne at her home address, and I'll say, oh, by the way, and I'll give her the message what I got 2 days ago, and it's for this lady. And so it works that way. So I get messages, which I'm thinking, what's that for? So I'll write it down, or I'll do a voice note on my phone, and then later on I'll get a booking, and this message would be to do with that client.
Wow,
it's crazy, isn't it?
It is.
I know it sounds bizarre because I work in mediumship. Even I'm, you know what I mean. Even I find
none of us can really understand what goes on, and in the other world or the parallel world. It's one of those that I don't think we'll ever understand till we get there ourselves.
Yeah.
And Dave, you've gone quite. Honest to God, I feel like I'm talking to someone
just
from
listening
the.
To because he'll sometimes ring me up in the week before we go to a location, and he'll ask me something. He'll ask me questions, and I'll say, "I'm not telling you but I know he's already got it right. But I won't tell him that he's right.
Yeah.
And he'll just ring me off the hand and Dave, I'm picking this up for the location at the weekend. Do you know anything about it? You know, and
you don't need to tell him he's right. He knows he's right because he's a medium.
Yeah, that's right.
You've had some stick tonight, haven't you, Andy?
Oh, I've had it for years. You know, it's one of those things. You can't work in this field and not. You can't work in this field and not get stick. You know, the amount of stick I get is unbelievable. I get hate mail, believe it or not, emails.
Really?
I get hatred emails on a daily basis. And I spoke to other mediums, and I'm not.
No.
Most mediums get.
It's just a normal.
Yeah, it's just if I don't open my emails on a daily basis, and I don't get at least 1 or 2 hate emails, I think something's going on here. What's going on here? Something's wrong here.
Do you know, we've talked this before, and Dave, me and Jonathan have spoken about this. Why do people troll people? Why do they send them hate mail? They must have lives where they've got nothing else to do, and it's
well, it's horrible.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, well, it is. I don't think I'm allowed to say this on air. It's to do with a certain person who went missing abroad. I won't mention the name.
No.
And this person emailed me and said, "You're not a real medium because you could find that person." I'm thinking, it's like, why even bring that into? Why even, and I get all sorts. I remember getting an email saying, "Your family should burn in a fire in this, that, and the other." So it's one of them. You just sort of like take it off the bat.
You have to ignore it, don't you?
Try and blank it out.
Well, it's just love and light. It's just send positive vibes back. If they're going to hate, and
you're saying that. Have you ever heard of a medium called David Trainer?
I have, yeah.
Now, we had David in the studio, and he was absolutely fantastic. What a lovely, lovely man, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I had to, go on one of his lives just to watch it, and it was fascinating. And he actually was saying to the people, well, you've come on here, you give me, you abuse me, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get to me. We're here. We'll come to enjoy ourselves. Join in and just be positive. And he was saying you won't get any more positive than this, and that's how it should be.
It is. That's it. It's like I know what you say. When they're picking on me, they're leaving someone else alone.
Yeah. Well, you're always picking on Dave. I've just noticed that.
It's about something that's left me alone and picked on somebody else.
Yeah. But
the thing is, though, it's not just mediums that get picked on. It's other investigators that get picked on.
Yeah.
I mean, I had it when I first started. I got abuse. I got sworn at. I got threatened to get my face kicked in.
Yeah.
And this went on for a good couple of years.
Well, that happened to me. Was it last week? No, I'm saying last week. This is pre-recorded. That happened to me, Dave. A couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? We took some people down into the cellar, and we were explaining the paranormal to him and everything else. And the next minute, I don't know where it come from, but he started getting really abusive. He started getting aggressive, and we were just being nice to him. And he started this, and he started getting. And when he was calling out for the spirits, but he was abusing them. He was actually effing this and effing that, and I've never ever seen that before. I've never seen anyone get so aggressive that he actually turned on me, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, me and Jonathan were in there. Jonathan was investigating the same as me, but because I was doing the explanation and that, he is what's the word? His anger was vented at me.
Yeah.
And he gave me, I mean, the abuse he got was ridiculous. And all I done is I just turned around and I went, look, it's not the time and the place. And I got myself out of there, didn't I? I said, I'm going back up now, I've had enough. And I went up, and they all come up.
Yeah.
The people were apologetic, and to be honest with you, I didn't mind, what happened. And because what he was saying was, I understand his anger, but it's not my fault.
No.
Yeah.
I just went down there to be nice, and I can see where you're coming from on that one. They seem to think because we're paranormal investigators that we're easy targets. We're not easy targets. We're like everybody else. We just enjoy going into the work.
We've still got feelings, even though we're paranormal investigators. We still have our own feelings.
Yeah.
We still get down about people attacking us and.
Plus, they don't know your personal life. You don't know.
Not at all.
I mean, I'm going to bring this up. Is they don't know your mental health. They don't know when they're abused you, how hateful that could be to you. I mean, obviously, it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me whatsoever. I've just brought it up because we're talking about it. But they don't realise that these people have got personal lives, and like you were saying then, Andy, about people sending emails to you and being abusive. Why?
Well, that's it exactly. It's like you said, you don't know what someone's mental health state is like this and that. But I remember being at 30 East Drive, and it was a public event, and the same sort of thing you say about this male. He was effing and jeffing, he was kicking off, and he was being really off with other team members, and this was his team. Do you know what I mean? These are his friends, you know, and he was being really nasty to him. And I was invited along as the media. I stood there and I thought, I've got to step in here. I can't let this carry on. And just tone it down a bit and step back. And then he turned and started arguing me, having a go at me, this, that and the other. And then his relations connected in spirit. And I just gave him messages there and then in front of everyone from his family. And I gave him the messages what only he would know. And it completely shot him down. And I didn't do it to embarrass him. I don't need to let him know that even though his relations in spirit were annoyed at the way he was acting. Yeah. You know, I had his mum coming through, I had his sister coming through, and they were firing back at him. And he just toned right down, he just shot right down. And afterwards, I had a word with him later on. I just said, "What's all that about? You know, you come here to enjoy yourself. What's going on? You come here to investigate." And again, it went down to mental health. His mental health wasn't the greatest. It was building up, and that was his boiling point. And unfortunately, everyone else copped for it. But at the same time, he needed that.
I think, and you were there, Jonathan. I think that's what happened that night. So I mean, I did tell the person who was running that event, and he was a very apologetic. I did. To be honest with you, I didn't need the apologies and all that lot. I understood where the fellow was coming from. I just needed to get out that situation there and then. And you know, these people who send who are trolling and get abusive and all that lot, you know, why'd you do it? Because we're not bothered.
Well, that's it. Sometimes I feel these trolls. Sometimes I feel they're the ones who need the help.
Spot on.
When I get an email from someone, I'll often email them back, and I'll just ask, "You all right? Do you want to chat?" This and that. My background, apart from I've got a background in mental health. I've worked in mental health for a long time. Previous, so I start speaking to them through email, say, "You okay? This, that, and the other. You know, these are numbers if you need Samaritans." And I'll just send them a list of numbers and just say, "There's people you can speak to," because 9 times out of 10, these people are attacking. They're thinking, "I need help. I don't know how to get help, but if I fire out, I might get enough attention."
They're just looking for that attention. So that's a good way of looking at it that way. So let's get back to the group. You know, we haven't got too long now, and I've kept used to again. I keep every group up comes in, don't I?
The team would be wondering when we've gone. But they think we've gone home.
They're probably all asleep in the dormitories up there, so I wouldn't worry about them.
You know what? They probably think this is the best night they've ever had because we're not there.
You're just getting on with it.
So, how can people get in touch with you? How can people book investigations with you if you do public? That is, and how, you know, websites, YouTubes. You just give the whole list out.
We're on YouTube, so it's just the same as it is now. It's Entering the Unknown Paranormal. We've got a website, enteringtheunknown.com. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So just type in Entering the Unknown Paranormal and it should come up with us.
What's the name of the group again?
Entering the Unknown.
Entering the Unknown
Paranormal.
And again, I just asked you, see you're filming for season 4.
Yeah, we're filming for season 4 now,
So where can we watch seasons 1, 2 and 3?
Seasons 1, 2, 3 you can watch on Amazon Prime.
So it's still on Amazon Prime, yeah?
And you can also watch it on Paraflix now, which is it could either be a monthly subscription or a yearly subscription. It's not dear. I think it's only about £10 or something.
Yeah.
And you don't just get us, you get a wide range of paranormal teams and investigating different locations around the world. So it's quite a good.
Oh, of course.
It's quite a new platform. It's only launched in March. So it's doing well.
And what's the name of the team again?
Entering the Unknown Paranormal.
So you've had a good little bit of an advertisement there.
Yeah.
I'm only doing it because you look like a copper.
I'm just going to find out your background in a minute. I'm in radio.
Yeah, so what I've got to do, I'm going to have to let you get back to your investigations because
we're dying to get out there, aren't we?
You're almost half asleep on that chair.
I think we'll be here in 6 o'clock.
It's alright, we're usually here by then as well. So you don't frighten me at all, Dave. But no, what I've got to say though, Dave Harazny and Andy Jones from Entering the Unknown, thanks for coming into the studio and thanks for the really good chat. Thoroughly enjoyed it. and we've got to get you back in here again.
Yeah, we enjoyed it too. We'll listen and we'll share your station on our Facebook and our social media. We'll share you all over the show.
And we really do appreciate that. Thanks very much for that. And next time you come in, you'll have to come back up into the studio again.
Certainly will, yeah.
And we look forward to that because it's been a really good chat with you. Yeah. So I'll let you get back to your investigation.
Brilliant.
I think we'll be joining you in a little bit as well to record a half an hour of an investigation with you for the show. Yeah. So thanks again for coming in.
Thanks. No worries. And remember, keep believing.
What's the name of your group again?
Entering the Unknown.
And from that, thanks very much, Andy. Thanks very much, Dave.
So that was a really good interview with Dave and Andy, that.
It certainly was. I'll tell you what, they know the stuff.
Oh, they certainly do.
Yeah. And what do you think of that, Lee?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it was good to listen to, wasn't it? Because you obviously weren't here when we'd done the interview, but do you know what? I loved having them in the studio. In fact, I love having all the guests in the studio. Yeah. It's a great laugh and everything else.
Yeah, brilliant.
But they were really enthusiastic, you'd tell, couldn't you?
They were, weren't they?
And Andy, I got his name right.
You did?
I certainly did.
Yeah.
A medium is the only person to win the award he had. I can't remember what the award was. But he's the only medium ever to win it.
Yeah, that's right.
Good on him for that.
Yeah, brilliant. Really good.
Yeah, it was. And they're coming up a little bit later on. With the team, they invited us down to do a little mini investigation with them, which we did.
Yeah.
And that's coming up a little bit later on as well, in about 5 or 6 minutes into the show, isn't it? And, you'll see what goes on there. And Gemma starts it. She kicks off the night.
Right, yeah.
And it's just a pre-warning is when it starts, there is a bell that rings right at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So if you have got headphones on, just giving you a little bit of a warning.
Yeah.
But it was good. I enjoyed it.
It was interesting, wasn't it?
What I do like, and I'm sure you like the same, Lee, is going down with other groups and seeing how they work.
Yeah, definitely.
It's great to just see, to sit back and watch.
It is,
people working.
Yeah.
And sorry, Lee.
No, I was going to say you always learn something new off every group that you have in.
Oh yeah. That's the good part about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great that we've said this before on the show about groups learning off each other, going and sharing investigations, especially now after the pandemic. It's a case of having to share with other groups to get into locations.
Yeah, it's good,
and it's understandable.
It is,
and Dave and Andy.
Yeah.
How much practice have I been to say that? And the worst thing is, the poster for this is I
You've
actually
done it, haven't you? But what?
But the first poster I've done, though, I did poor Dave and Brian.
I don't know where he's got this Brian from.
I don't know. Well, I work with two Brians.
No,
that's probably what it is. Yeah. When you're working with two people called Brian, it tends to stick in your head, doesn't it? Thankfully, I don't work with two Jonathans. That would have been a nightmare. That would have been. Yeah.
So
go on.
I was just going to say, on a different note, there's a group in tonight, isn't there?
There is. And the funny thing is we'd just gone down, hadn't we? We nipped to the men's.
Yeah.
And we got nabbed. We came out. And they were saying, have we been walking up and down in the hallway, which we haven't. We've only been in the studio and we've only been out once.
Yeah.
And they said they heard it 3 or 4 times. They heard somebody walking across the hallway or running across the hallway.
Running, yeah. And
it definitely was not.
Also, someone walking with really heavy footsteps.
Yeah. Well, that could have been a soldier.
Could well have been. Well, they did say, didn't they? They said, have you been down? And we said, we've been down once. We were really quiet to go to the men's room. Yeah. But then they said they've been up a couple of times because they've heard someone running across, they heard someone walking with heavy footsteps. And the 3rd or 4th time, they put a camera on the table at the bottom of the stairs where we come down. Yeah. But it's like, I said to her, I said, when we came down, the camera was on the table recording.
That's right, yeah.
But we'd not been down before that.
No. And we all went together.
Yeah.
So their cameras would have picked us up walking across the hall, and they would have picked us walking back again.
Yeah.
And it was only when we heard they were having the break we nipped down again, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's how we found out. They asked
Yeah.
us where we been out. In fact, I think the lady called Jo.
Yeah.
She actually was she was waving through the window or trying.
She
to
was, yeah. That's
and,
what it must have been.
And I was waving back to say, "Come in."
Yeah.
She thought I was telling her to go away.
Yeah,
She
no.
went. Yeah. So what I did say, sorry, I did say to them, if you want to come in, just come in, but just come in quietly.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see them in here anyway. I like
Yeah.
seeing the ghost groups
It's
in
nice to
here.
see they've had
Yeah.
a bit of activity as well.
They
She
are.
should say
Yeah.
they've had quite a bit of activity down
Yeah.
in the cellar as well.
I'm looking forward to hearing about that a little bit later
Yeah.
on when we get a chance to sit with them and have a little
Yeah.
bit of a chat.
Yeah.
But the investigation also is going well for them, which I'm pleased about because I mean they're getting more than what we got last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
So but anyway, we're going to go across in a minute to the investigation we did with
Entering the unknown.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
He said it 100 times for us and I still can't
I
get it
know.
right, can I? So what we're going to do is in a second we're going to go across and listen to the investigation. And we went into the cellar with them. You were going to say something then, Jonathan, you were pointing to something there. No? I thought you seen something behind. Don't do that to me.
No.
I don't want to see. I thought you were
No, do
pointing.
you know what I was going to do?
What?
I was just going to give out our details.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do the paranormal investigation we did with Entering the Unknown down in the cellar.
Okay, then.
Then you can give out our details and how people can contact us
Yeah.
and how they can send their stories over. So let's go down into the cellars here in Mill Street Barracks with Mill Street Barracks with Entering the Unknown. Footsteps.
Andy,
Yeah.
why was you told to ring the bell?
Say again.
What was there a reason why you was told to ring the bell?
I wasn't given the reason why to ring the bell, but when I rang it then the 3 times, it's so sad. It's like it was an ending or something. To ring the bell, like to recognise something. When the music was playing and I was sat in that room, I could hear noises behind me. I could hear noises at the side of me. I was having a pain in the back of my neck. It felt like a stabbing pain, and it was increasing. The more and more it went on.
Can I just say as well that I had stabbing pain in my back, my left shoulder, right side of my neck,
Did anybody else get any
right
pain?
bottom kidney,
Yeah,
right side of my kidney.
So,
yeah. And I was getting the eyes as well.
so there's quite a few of you that get in pain. Just out of curiosity, while Andy was ringing his bell, did anybody else hear footsteps?
Yeah,
I just said
on the
to
first bell.
footsteps.
Sounded like it was just over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When the music
I'm
was
drawn
going
to that
sorry
way.
guys.
Yeah.
When the music was going up,
Buffles.
when you played the middle track, when you did the soothing music, I had servicemen coming through the wall, walking towards me in single file, coming from the wall where the water is, coming from that wall, walking towards me.
There is chairs in there, isn't there?
In the middle room?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
in the...
At the firing range,
Yeah.
there is, yeah.
Is there enough room for all of us?
There should be.
It should be.
Yeah, it should be.
So I think we need to move through there then, and
You can
then
see
just
that
do
in there
a
as well.
little bit of calling
Cool.
up just to see what we get,
Mm-hmm.
because that seems to be where, because we all heard footsteps clear as day.
Yeah, and where the footsteps were, I can vouch now that it was not the footpath. Because what you were getting them near the kitchen here, or what they call the galley, and we've had footsteps around there before.
Found this area somewhere.
You see, it sounded, where I was stood, it sounded pretty close.
Almost above you.
It was like it's here.
So, yeah.
How many footsteps did you hear?
Quite a
About
few.
4
to
and
be
5.
fair.
5's.
I'm glad now. I'm the first person to do that.
Yeah, quite a few.
I'm the first you.
Don't forget, mind your heads, everybody.
Sandy with his balls.
That's the first thing I did, David, walked down there.
Baby traps.
What, kick your balls?
Yeah.
I'll put the lights on for you and then I'll turn them off when you get down there.
What is that? He's working with your table quickly.
Now this room, I say spirit-wise, this is the busiest room so far I've picked up on in this building. And when I was in here to begin with, beginning of the night, to me, it stood here, and to me it's like a street.
So, do you want to just do a little bit of calling out, Andy? Because
As soon as you all sat down, I'll turn the lights out.
Is provoke emotion to hopefully encourage some sort of activity. Now, quite a few of us have had pains, and then quite a few of us have heard footsteps. So there's a reason why, and it was coming from this direction. Andy said that he felt that this area was busy. So now we're trying to find out how and why. Andy, whenever you're ready, love.
Spirit of the building, spirit that's coming through, spirit of the land, please come forward. We mean you all respect in the world, love, peace and respect. We wish to communicate with you. Well, there's bodies piled up in this bit.
Do you want me to tell you? Yeah.
You can do, yeah.
Yeah, where you're sitting now was a mortuary,
Okay.
or a makeshift mortuary.
Can I just say as well, you're probably not aware, but can I just say that a lot of the bodies that are left, kept in here, were not kept in the greatest condition, and were not stored the way they should be. And that sounds a horrible word for storing someone who's deceased, but it wasn't the greatest of care.
Well, the actual storage of the bodies were here because of the war, and we believe some of them were, with the bombings, and there was the stray bombs, wasn't there? So
are we talking soldiers, servicemen and women, or are we talking general public as well?
World War.
So it'll be everything then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's interesting. So they've been placed in here probably because we can all feel that the temperature's cold, right? Yeah. So likelihood is World War II there wouldn't have been fridges to be able to keep the bodies cold enough to stop the smells that naturally come. So they'd have been stored here to then what, Jamie? Where would they have gone?
Well, what we've heard of is the bodies were stored here on a temporary basis because obviously it's a nice cool place, as you can tell anyway. And we think that some of them went over to the church over the road here. Now we know that the church did have like a crypt underneath it. It's been filled in and everything now. So we think that some of the bodies went over there, and obviously some were moved on to other places.
Shocking.
Can I just say as well, some of the bodies, I don't want to say bodies because it's horrible, some of the people that were kept under it, can I just say there's a few that was put in it and they weren't actually dead.
Sorry?
They weren't actually dead. There's been a few people left in here who have been on the verge of passing, but they didn't actually pass, and the checks weren't done correctly, and they were just put in this room to pass away in this room. With corpses around them.
Is there anybody that's still here because you was traumatised? Are you with us? Now would be a very good time for you to share your story with us. Andy, have you got anybody in particular? Or is it just like a mixture?
There's a mixture of people, but I've got a lady coming through, and
You're right.
There's been a lot of shady going on in this location. A lot of things that shouldn't have happened, that has happened. There's the pain in the back of my neck I was experiencing when I was sat on the step. I kept feeling this pain in the back of my neck, and it was so sharp and so painful. And this lady's telling me that this is down to, I don't know if it's doctor, member of staff, I don't know who this person was, that when he did come across someone who was alive down here, and that's how he sort of finished him.
I've not heard that before.
Did anybody else get a pain in the neck area?
Yeah, me right side.
Okay. So would that have been because there was no way back for them anyway, so it was the kindest option maybe?
I think so. I think that was the way. They were down here. They're more or less there. They're more or less passing over to the other side, and the staff just put them down here because they just thought they'd gone, and they hadn't gone, and this person was doing that. So whether it was an act of kindness to move them over, I don't know. But this lady isn't happy with this. What?
I mean, this isn't going to help this lady that's obviously coming through to you, Andy, but what I can say with many years of previously working in the healthcare sector, it can be, at times, and I mean no disrespect to anybody for this, but at times it can be very difficult to get confirmation that somebody has actually passed, because you can literally go 7 to 10 minutes without a breath, without a pulse, and somebody still be alive. And I know that doesn't help anybody, but it doesn't surprise me that maybe people were put down here that hadn't quite passed away because they didn't have the medical equipment that we have these days.
I was going to say, would that not have been like the norm at that time?
Yeah, because all they'd have had, if they was lucky, would have been like an egg cup to see if they could still hear a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Gemma,
Yeah.
when me and Gab came down before to the cellar, and we were asking if it was a male spirit here, there's no answer. But when we asked for a female spirit, the cat ball went off straight away on cue. It's like what Andy just said then about the female spirit. It did go off, didn't it, Gab, on cue? Yeah.
But why am I being shown the bodies? Yeah, I get that, I understand that, and then you tell me that this is where they use to store bodies, but why was the bodies, I don't know if this is a different building before this, I don't know what's going on there. Why am I seeing bodies and this building, was there a different building where bodies was, I'm seeing loads of bodies, and it's not this building, it's another building, but it's on this land.
we only know about the building. We don't know what was here before this. But I mean, you're talking about a lot of bodies. This was connected to. Am I all right to say? Yeah. This was in one way was connected to the TB hospital, which was just down the road.
Right. Okay.
They did have an overflow of TB patients in this building.
So when you say an overflow of TB patients in this building, would that have been the bodies, or would that have been the actual people that was here for hospital care or medical care?
Yeah. Hospital care, but as you know, TB can people can pass from it.
Absolutely, yeah. So, do you think is that making any sense, Andy?
She's listening, she's backwards and forwards, she's coming backwards and forwards, and she's listening, and she's contacted the people before in the past. This is, remember I said to you about a lady singing?
Mm-hmm.
This is the lady.
What was she singing?
I can't hear what she's singing, it's just a tone I'm hearing from this lady.
Are you picking up a name or anything like that?
I'll keep working with her.
So is she still likely to be here, Andy, because of the upset and the hurt?
I think it's the way she went. I think it all like the way she's gone. I think it's sort of like I don't know.
So Andy is obviously a medium. I don't really know you guys. Have you got any abilities? Are you picking up on anything? Are you sensing anything at all?
Not me.
I was drawn to this room, the minute we're in the cellar. When I go, like, kept popping in. I was just drawn to this room.
I was drawn to the middle room that Andy was asked to ring a bell in 3 times.
And even when I was back upstairs, like an hour later, I was still thinking about this room, out of the whole building. I didn't know what it was until it was explained then by James, but yeah, just drawn to this
So
room.
who said that they was drawn to the middle room?
Me.
Are you brave enough to go sit in there?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Okay.
You was obviously, you're drawn there for a reason.
Yeah.
So the only way you're going to know what that reason
I was
is.
stood by the
is to do it.
door. I was leaning on the wall, and I could have sworn it opened a bit.
That door, I pushed it shut. Now, when I pushed it shut, it does naturally open. I think it's the gravity of the door and the way the floor's naturally sloping. So if you do push that door shut, it will naturally open a little bit.
Right.
But I closed it to as far as I could, hoping it'll open more on camera.
What's
I
your
even
name,
tried
sorry?
Gavin.
Gavin.
Yeah.
So while you're in there, Gavin, just have a chat. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you're drawn in there for, there's a reason why. You're not just drawn in there because you like the decor. There is a reason why you're being drawn to that room. So I just want to see if anything at all will, I don't know, show itself, come to you, I don't know, whatever it might be. But the good news is we're not far away. And the very, very good news is I'm not handcuffing you or blindfolding you or anything.
Okay, right.
Someone got torch for it?
Yeah.
I'll break my neck.
I'll just
Please
let you
don't
know
do
that. I'll just let you know though that middle room what you're going to go into is quite a nice relaxing room.
Yeah.
I get pains in the eyes down there.
You won't get any nasty.
My back, my neck.
You're still getting paid. What's your name? Sorry, I can see you, Greg.
Yeah, back, neck, and your eyes, like before, like this. Like it feels like you're getting a push, you've got it bruised.
You won't get anything bad in there.
Just watch your head as you walk in.
You what, darling?
I like someone's got on my chest.
Dear, so you're getting quite tight chested.
Yeah.
See, the emotion's here for a reason. And I know that obviously this building's been used for a lot of things over the years. But that emotion's still going to be here. It's not going to have gone anywhere. Which could be why everybody's starting to feel aches and pains.
Won't tight chest be be, to do with TB?
It could be.
It could be, but also at the same time, look, we're having a dusty environment, we're breathing in dust. So we have got to think of that and factor that in, that we're all breathing dust and it's all going to play on your chest anyway.
Absolutely.
So,
and then throw into that stress, anxiety, any sort of emotional response will more than likely show itself in a form of shortness of breath or tightness in chest, itching. There's a number of things that could be causing it. So it's best to stay open-minded, but just go with it. Don't discount it. So Andy, this woman, sorry, that was me. There's a plank of wood under my foot. I'm so sorry. I didn't even know it was there. So this woman, you've not quite got a name, but what about that age range?
Age range, looking at her, say she's about mid-20s, early 30s. She's only fairly young. Looking at her, as she's backwards and forwards, looking at her, to me, the way she's dressed, the way she's presenting herself, you okay?
Did anybody else just hear that?
My ankle's cracked.
No. Nobody else heard it?
No.
Sorry, carry on.
What's your Joe?
Doesn't matter. Carry on, I just want to see if it happens again.
The way she's dressed, the way she's presenting herself, she's higher class. She's higher class than I won't say high class than me. I'm as common as muck, but she's of a higher class. She's not very trusting, and she's not very forward with the information. She's coming forward with bits and bats. She's more disturbed with the way she passed. In her life, she was quite a bit of a women's rights wasn't a thing back then, and in her life she was quite a fighter for women's rights in a sense, and she seems to think that it was only because she was female that this happened, and I've told her it's not because she's female, it has happened to other people, mixed gender.
Somebody hear a cough? Hang on, it's Gavin out there.
I think it was next door, yeah.
But can I ask, where's the gallows?
The gallows? In what way?
I'm being shown hangings on this location, but I'm seeing like a gallows set up. Was there a gallows or was there...
There wasn't a gallows, but there was an alleged hanging in the building.
There was what, sorry?
An alleged hanging in the building. Yeah. Suicide.
Whereabouts was that?
It was allegedly, I can only say that, is, the main hall?
Yeah.
With the flag is at the very end,
yes.
The far end. No one was saying to you,
yeah.
I'd like to know if you get something around that area. Yeah. It's supposed to have been around that in the...
Okay. Well, there is hanging.
Yeah.
Okay, there is hanging.
Did you see the light?
Yeah.
I've seen the light a couple of times, but it's been down here, the light across this floor here.
Why am I being asked about this? I don't know how to pull this across. Why am I being asked about an argument over papers to do with this building?
Sorry?
Why am I being asked about an argument over papers to do with this building? Has there been some sort of argument over ownership or some?
There's not been an argument. But there's been a change of people's names being put on a piece of paper, a paper of, I can't remember what it's actually called now, but 2 people came off it and 2 people went on it. They're like the part owners of the building, or you get so many people who
not happy about it.
Yeah,
there's people not happy about that.
There was somebody who wasn't so keen on coming off it, but he came off it.
Is that the cat ball going off? Is that the light we're
See,
seeing?
that's what I was just wondering, because I see a flash in, and it wasn't like a torch lamp, so I'm wondering if the cat balls are going off.
Wouldn't the lad over, is it Gavin? Wouldn't he
If it's
see it,
the
wouldn't
one this end, then more than likely not.
You might do because there's holes in the wood.
Yeah, there isn't. There's holes in the wood and...
Is it getting colder in it?
Yeah.
Did anybody else hear footsteps at all?
No.
What's above us, Jamie?
Just think where we are.
The storeroom.
It's the storeroom. This part here will
Next
be
to the galley.
You know where I told you to put the capballs and leave the door slightly open? You've got the galley, then you've got another room, then you've got the entrance to this cellar. That's what's above us now, and then there's like a little storeroom at the back. So what we've got here is a storeroom, approximately above my head.
What's that chap called in that room?
Gavin.
Okay, so if there is anybody here with us, Gavin's on his own. He's been drawn to that middle room. Can you go do something in the room just to make him aware that you're there? I don't want you to scare him. I just want you to make him aware that you are with him. Go see him. You're right, aren't you? You sure?
Who would you
Who? Can anyone else feel that, like, coming from behind us?
I'm more concerned about that way, to be fair.
Okay. Come closer, step in, please. We'll invite you in. Love, peace and respect. Use our energies.
I need to move my leg and it might crack, so just to warn everyone.
Make yourself known, please. We mean you no harm. We're here to communicate. And if anything, we're here to help. If you need help, please come forward, let us know.
So that's me just scratching.
Okay. Do you want to go tap in then?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
That was you. Can you do it again, please? Can you hear that?
No.
Can you make it louder, please? Okay.
Gavin?
Yeah.
Was that you?
Yes.
Okay. Can I just say though, 10 out of 10 everybody, because not one person jumped then.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to be.
Watch your head.
Careful.
Freak out with people walking
I
on
know.
there. That'll be an A&E visit, won't
Can I
it?
ask, without giving too much info away, why was I being told to ring that bell 3 times? Have you had that before? Just watch that torch.
We haven't had that bell ring. But you know the one on the main hall?
Yeah.
We were recording about a month or so ago now, weren't we?
Yeah.
We've actually got the recording, you can actually hear the bell go ding, and that relays when you go ding.
I was wondering why, was it that rang 3 times, the one you heard?
Twice of what we heard.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it was Lee what heard it more.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel need to
The
call
one in
Gavin.
whoever's gone in there rang the bell anyway. So maybe because other people ring the bell and you hadn't tonight,
Yeah.
Do you
they
not
gave
get
that
anything
message,
at all?
go and ring the bell.
See, I want to know when they're drawn to that room.
Why am I being shown? I don't know if it's his building, if it's a connection to someone. I don't know what it is. But why am I being shown like old type fire engines?
Not then, no.
I'm going right back here. I'm going right back with the fire engines. Why am I being shown old type fire engines? Was that something to do with the land or something to do with someone to do with the building?
It depends, because they used to store vehicles in here, didn't they?
Okay.
The army does have the
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Now the Green Goddess would have been too heavy for the floor here.
It would, yeah.
But a little bit further down, there is the fire station, and also there's a transport museum further down as well.
Has that connection to this building?
I couldn't really say, because we don't know what's in that building. Are you talking about that the vehicle might have been here?
I'm just wondering why I'm being shown this. To show me these fire engines for a reason. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's to do with the building or to do with someone associated with the building. Whether it's a memory of someone who works in the building, I don't know. But I'm being shown these fire engines for a reason. Now,
they used to do a lot of training here, so maybe when the army was here, there used to be a lot of training all the time, because you used to have the drill at the back.
right.
But also they used to use this road, that road there, Mill Street itself, and we have got pictures of army trucks with people outside. So maybe, I may be clutching at straws, but maybe they've done the training there as well with fire engines. I don't know.
Who's Robert Williams?
Robert Williams. I don't know Robert Williams. No, there's Robert Williams before, have we?
No.
But the strange thing is, my surname is Williams.
No, this is Robert Williams.
I have to look that one up.
Is there much history for this place, Jamie? I know obviously I have got bits of history from the very first time when I came here, and there's obviously bits out there from paranormal teams, etc. But is there much documented history about people that will have been here, whether it be training?
We've got archived books with photographs in them, newspaper cuttings in them. From this building, we've got, I think it's about 2 or 3 photo albums full of them. So we've got a lot of pictures from from years ago.
What was it?
Did nobody hear nothing?
I heard like a scrape. That's what you heard.
Yeah, it was what I heard, but I didn't.
No one's feet moved.
I moved my foot, but it's just a...
Okay.
So, Jonathan, that was our little mini invest we did with the entering of the unknown.
Yeah.
And it was quite good, actually. I quite enjoyed it. It was nice to see it. It was Gemma Drury. Now, the funny thing is, Gemma, I've met her before a few years back. And I was like that. I can't remember you.
That's right, yeah.
Then when we were standing there talking, I went, I know who you are now.
Yeah.
The penny finally dropped with me.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether it must have been was it a public invest here? Has she come on to?
No, she was actually, part of the team. She is part of entering the unknown. The unknown.
I'm sure I've met her before or seen her before at some
nice
point
person.
over the years. Yeah, lovely. Yeah,
they were all great people.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
She was heavily pregnant, wasn't she?
Yeah. I know she's a brave girl, but you know what? A good one with it.
Yeah.
And then there was Greg.
Yeah.
Greg was really enthusiastic.
Yeah.
I think we're going up to Greg's house soon to check that out. He sent me quite a few videos, so can't wait to meet up with Greg there.
Yeah.
Chrissy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My word, Chrissy was just so wild. Not wild as in a mad person, but
no, just so into that.
Full of energy.
Oh, yeah. She will bring enough energy for the whole group.
Tell you.
Wouldn't she?
If nothing manifests when she's on an investigation,
I'd be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Oh my word!
Just like,
if it didn't, you'd think that it's not paranormal, yeah.
But I love seeing people like that who's enthusiastic over an investigation. You know, I mean, we all see Lee. He comes dancing through the doors when he comes in, doesn't he? Singing. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Not Lee Arnold.
Oh, sorry, did I make a mistake then?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be. Yeah, I was thinking of Lee Arnold, but that could have been on another time. You know,
Yeah.
it's probably when he was drunk. Yeah. Hi, Lee.
Are you alright?
So let's talk about something here. When you go on an investigation, Lee,
Mm-hmm.
what's your favourite part of it? You know, when you do it, because we ask about, you know, what's the most scariest experience about everything. What's your favourite part of being on an investigation?
I'd say setting everything up, ready for the buzz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not taking it all down again.
No, taking it all down, that's the worst bit. But
Yeah,
yeah, getting everything ready and getting all hyped up for the night.
yeah.
Yeah.
The build up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should try watching a few videos, and that builds you up as well.
Does it?
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's, you know, when you're watching the time, you think, I can't wait to get
Yeah.
down there. And,
Yeah.
you know, and then you're the technical side of it, aren't you? You've got your
Yeah.
video cameras, you've got your cap balls,
Yeah.
you've got
Rem
well,
pods.
oh, there we go again. You've got the REM pods, which
Yeah.
you build yourself, which
Yeah.
is great. You've got dolls which light up.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got dolls here,
Yeah.
and they're creepy enough.
Yeah.
But when yours, I mean, it's a shame you haven't got it on you because you could have
No,
played
no.
it, and
Yeah.
it's really creepy.
It's creepy. Very creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being in Lee's house, just about to fall asleep, and that doll goes off?
No, I couldn't.
Yeah, no, I couldn't.
No.
And Jonathan, what you know when you go on investigations, what's your favourite part of the investigation?
No, the part I like best is when something actually happens.
Mm.
When you see, I don't know, that shadow, when you hear that noise,
Mm.
when you've got that cat ball going off, when you're asking questions.
Mm. And you can't debunk it.
You can't. Some of them you can't. Some things you can. And obviously we look for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it's just when something just happens and you just cannot explain it at all, and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
it's scary.
Yeah. I like both of them, but I love also when the likes of the group get together
Yeah.
and the build up, and you know, we're in the main hall or wherever we are,
Yeah,
and we're all talking to each other, and we're all like
Yeah.
it's
itching
buzzing,
to get
innit?
going, yeah, and
Yeah.
you're buzzing, and people bring new things with them to try, and that, and I love
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah,
It's great fun, and you know, with the pandemic and that, we've not been able to do that,
no, we haven't.
and it's been difficult. But at least we're all meeting up soon.
Yeah,
We're all going for a tapas, which I can't wait for.
yeah.
Apart from Lee's working, which is
Yeah.
a shame.
Yeah.
But we'll send you some photographs of the food we're eating, Lee. Don't
Oh,
worry.
thank you.
We won't leave you out. But don't. Yeah, but we'd love you to be there. You know
No,
that
no,
anyway.
Yeah.
We love them all to be there. I can't wait for that. That'd be
Yeah.
great fun.
Yeah,
And that's what it's about, isn't it? It's
It
not
is.
just the actual going on the investigations. It's the social side of it as
Yeah.
well. You know.
yeah. Because I mean, we do different things as well,
Yeah.
don't we, as a group?
Yeah.
Because we've been to theatres and meals and walks out. It's
Oh, yeah.
yeah. It's not just
Love it. Mhm.
it's not just all investigations. We do different
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, and we did one meeting once, Lee.
Yeah.
In a country park. We all just sat there in a big circle and just chatted and had our meeting there. I mean, our meetings are not like, okay, let's see what's on the agenda. It's when are we going on the invest?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is, isn't it?
It's like, hi Jamie, hi so and so, hi so and so. How long are we going to be in here? Because we want to go on the invest.
Yeah.
That's it. But that's what it's about.
Yeah.
It is.
And it's good for your mental health as well.
It is. It's socialising, isn't it? It's
Getting
getting
out,
out
yeah.
and doing different things. And
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
You know what? Well, let's sort of serious, because we do say about groups and that, and we all go, oh, the ghost group, yeah, who spooky people? You do get that. You get the odd people
Yeah,
who say
you
that,
do.
yeah. But if you put it in a nutshell of what we do, yeah, we do go on paranormal investigations,
Yeah.
but we're like a family.
Yeah.
We support each other.
Yeah.
We, if somebody's struggling,
Yeah.
you all help.
Yeah.
We all get together and
Yeah.
try and support them.
Yeah.
You're like a backup family, aren't you?
Yeah.
It is.
and you know, sadly we lost a very, very strong person in our group. Who the impact hit everybody, and that was Bill.
That's right.
And I mean, that shows you how close the group, you know, are together.
Yeah.
We all
right.
keep in touch with each other. We're all on WhatsApp. We're all on social media.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. And you can't beat that.
No.
You can't beat the friendship you've made in them.
That's it.
And that's
it.
you know, that's what I love about Ghost Quest. You know,
Yeah.
we all are like best of friends. We all get on together.
That's
I mean,
it.
we you know, the three of us do this together.
Yeah.
And we all, you know, like we've been to theatre,
Yeah.
been to cinema,
Yeah.
days out.
That's it, isn't it?
We went to Wales for the weekend, if you remember that time. We
that was funny.
went up to
That was
Anglesey.
so
yeah,
funny.
a great time.
Yeah.
So it's not all about the paranormal side.
It's
of it.
not,
It's about
it's not.
the well-being of us all.
Yeah. That's right.
And if it works, it works.
Yeah.
And that's the best part about it.
That's right. Yeah.
And you know, anybody out there who criticises the paranormal people, don't, because you don't realise how many people depend on it for friendships and things like that, and that's what it's all about. It's, you know, as well as the investigations.
Yeah.
The investigations to me is the second part. Is the most important part.
It is.
Definitely.
To me, the most important part of it all is the friendship and the safety net you've got with everybody. You all support each other.
That's right.
And I know we went a bit deep there and we went a bit serious, but that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Friendships.
Do you know what though, Jamie? You see it with a lot of the groups as well. A lot of the other groups that like we've seen coming in all the time, and it's like they'll do like an hour invest, and they'll have like a half an hour break.
Yeah.
Socialising, chatting, and something to eat, something to drink, and then they'll go back and do it now, and then they'll have another good hour break. So it's not all just about the invest.
No, we've done that ourselves.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of groups do it.
Yeah.
I mean, Lee, you started with us because it was your birthday, and let's just say, one of the guests, who's the only girl here tonight, is Joe.
Yeah.
And it's her 50th birthday tonight. So Hazel, you're not on your own. So it's her birthday tonight, and Joe, have a great birthday. Very enthusiastic lady when we seen her there.
Oh,
so yeah, we wish her a happy birthday as well. In fact, we're talking about friendships and that in the group. Sorry, I'll come back to you in a sec. Is we went into their room before we went into the room where they were all. They weren't sitting there. We thought they were.
Yeah.
And there was birthday gifts and everything in there. You know, we've seen that. That's how close these groups are.
Yeah, that's it.
And sometimes they are essential for people.
Oh yeah,
they are. So I mean, for some people, it's the only form of social interaction that they might have.
Yeah, you're right. And there's one of Lee's best friends now on the phone.
It's not Lee's only form of social interaction.
Yeah, but you know, Lee, you came here for your birthday. I mean, your wife Leanne got you that, and you know, I don't know how many years on it is now. Is it 5 or 6 years on now, and you're still here? So it must have done something for you.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah. And what you know, does it made you think? Well, there's something else out there than sitting in the house.
Yeah, definitely. It's like makes you more confident, getting to know people, mixing with them, talking to them, brings you out your shell.
Do you know what? That's spot on there. Yeah. You know, we've seen people come into the group and they're quiet. I mean, you were one of the quietest people. We used to say to you, Lee, do you want to call out? That's all we got. I know. Now we can't shut you up. But it is. And if you've got that good core of people who, you know that if you make a mistake or you get embarrassed, they're not going to make fun of you.
No,
well, we do.
Well,
but for the radio, we don't. But you know, you learn how to trust and who not to trust, and you've got to say with our group, and we've been going 11 years, so it says everything about the group. And I'm sure there's other groups out there who are exactly the same. I'm not going to say we're the best. There's people out there who are phenomenal. And you know, we've seen a difference in you. I feel like you're teaching now. You know, if I had to write a report on you, Lee, it was like very, very quiet. Just sits, turns up at the investigations, doesn't say a word, enjoys himself, goes home. Now it's turns up, Can't shut him up.
Yeah.
He calls out.
Yeah.
He comes here on the radio show with us.
Yeah.
I mean, what a difference that is.
Yeah.
Would you have done that a few years back?
Definitely
No?
not. No.
So
Yeah,
it's nice to have seen, you know,
Yeah.
the big difference in you, and you're part of the family. You know,
Yeah.
we
That's
think
it.
we think a lot of you, even though we
Yeah.
insult you, but we insult the other old fella over the road as well there.
Yeah.
But it's all in good fun,
Yeah,
and
of course
it's
It is.
I know a word for this.
Go on.
It's character building.
Ooh.
Swallowed the dictionary.
That's just coming to my head then. It was just coming to my head.
That's all you can fit in.
Yeah, but you know, when we talk about the paranormal groups and things like that, they you know, don't knock us,
Yeah.
because you know what, some of them are doing a fantastic.
Yeah.
And if you talk to individuals in them groups, they'd probably say the same if it wasn't
Yeah.
for.
Well, that's it, isn't
Yeah.
it?
And we've got to finish on the thing where, you know, Bill,
Yeah.
he's you know, he absolutely loved the paranormal. He
Oh, yeah.
loved the
Yeah.
He
investigations
lived for it.
Yeah.
didn't
and the
he?
meetings and everything.
Yeah.
He loved it that much. You know, he had pictures, he had photo
Yeah.
albums of them.
Oh, yeah.
He collected the posters we designed.
Yeah.
He collected everything,
Yeah.
and it was his life,
It was.
and he loved it.
was.
And do you know what? It's still got that impact on us now, because even though he's not here with us
Yeah.
anymore, he is.
Yeah,
He's still with
part
us.
of
Still
We're
it.
still
always
talking.
think about
We're
it.
talking about him now,
Yeah.
and that's the impact he had on it. And I know a few people like that who made an impact in the paranormal
Yeah.
world, and
Yeah.
Mark Harazny, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
sadly, he passed away 6 years this week, and he was an incredible man as well.
Yeah.
And all these people, you know, the excitement was the
Yeah.
paranormal,
Yeah.
and
Christ.
it gave them something to look forward to every day.
Yeah. That's
Gave
it.
them something to get their teeth into.
Yeah.
So so anybody out there, if you're into the paranormal, join a group and enjoy yourselves.
Yeah.
Or join us. We're
Yeah.
mad.
And on that note,
Yeah.
if you want to join us,
Oh, he's getting good here, isn't he?
He
He
is,
really
isn't
is getting good.
yeah.
I think he's going like that. And he's going, yeah. Now I can say,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So if you want to join us on an investigation, we'll let you know when the next investigation is going to be for a public event. Or if you want to know more about it, or if you got any stories to tell, you can email us on info.accessparanormal@gmail.com. Or you can get us on Instagram or Facebook on Access Paranormal Radio Podcast.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, do you know what, Jonathan? I'm glad you said that, because it's the end of the show. And we'd like to also thank Entering of the Unknown for coming in tonight.
Yeah.
And I'd also like to thank Jonathan for being here, and also Lee. So tune in again next week, and we'll see you all then. Good night.